Raghuvamsham bhaje Ramena bhiyata nishacharachamu Ramaya tasmai namaha Ramannasti parayanam parataram Ramasya dasosmyaham Rame chittalaya sada bhutame bhorama mamudhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane Shri Ramanama Varanana Om Nama Iti Ayun Rulruk Eyong Ayauch Hayavarat Van Nyamanga Na Nam Jabai Garadash Jabagaradash Kapha Chata Tha Chata Sav Kapai Shashasar Hal Itimahasha Sutrani. Okay, I think we are number 15. Before we start, I just want to show this Raghuvamsha text which has been put on the tiny URL link page. I think the email was sent out to everybody. Just want to show it. The Kalpesh just put that on the page. So let me just go there. So this is the link which is there. If you look under quick links, you will see this Raghuvamsha in PDF and also the DJVU file. So both are there. So you can, for those who are, the commentary is not there, but I think the Mula Pasha is there. So you can take a look at that also. Okay, so let us start today.
Satishji, the commentary is there in that DJVU file. Also the PDF file that I sent, that also contains the whole commentary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me take a look at that. Maybe then we can. The same kind of format as this one, or is it different? Let me take a look.
I think this what you have is a lot better than that one. But there also is not bad. It's the photocopy of the Raghuvamsham from Motilal Banarsidass.
But this is the one. This has no commentary, does it? This one has no commentary, right?
No,
this is the PDF file.
This is the PDF file. So there's another PDF that I sent over email. Which is a different one.
Okay. The one you send by email has the commentary on it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. But anyway, the other one has the commentary on it, the DJView file, right? Okay. All right. So anyway, it's all available now. So if any of you want to follow and do your homework, you try to figure out on your own at home if you can read and practice, and then that you'll be able to pick up more in the class, because I think this class is getting a little bit difficult for people, I notice. But hopefully if you can do some homework, maybe you can pick up some more. Okay. So that's all on the, the tiny URL page, links page. So shloka number 15 now, verse number 15. Jyaninadam mat grihnati tayo pradurasa bahula kshapa chavi tadaka chala kapala kundala kalikeva nibida balakini. One more time. Jyaninadam mat grihnati tayo pradurasa bahula kshapa chavi tadaka chalakapala kundala kalikeva nibida balakini. If you just keep on reading like this, you'll get the whole language. This is probably the easiest way to learn the whole language. Keep on reading. Everything will come to you. Of course, you can then read the commentary also. You can also read the grammar texts. Everything you can read, You can just read the whole commentary the same way. Jyeti, atha, tayo jyaninadam grihnati, janati, shrunvati tyarthaha, bahulakshapa chavi, krishna paksha ratri varna, bahulaha krishna pakshe cha iti vishvaha, chale kapale eva kundale yasya satathokta tadaka, nibida sandra, valakini valakavati, vriyadibhyascha, iti nihi, kalikeva ghanavaliva, kalika yogini bhede karshne gauryam ghanavalau iti vishvaha, pradurasa pradurbabhuva. So keep on reading like that, every time we'll get some more. Okay. Now one more thing is this pronunciation of this ha with the na, there is some controversy with this pronunciation. Particularly these two words, which is the Brahma and the Vasni. These some people pronounce it as Brahma and Vanhi. I don't think there is any pramanam for that really that I know of, but I know some people insist to pronounce these two words as Vanhi and Brahma. I think that doesn't seem to be right to me, but some very authoritative people. So let me just put these words. Pronunciation of the pronunciation of the hakara and the conjunct, hakara, makara, hakara, nakara. It's pronunciation of, should say the ha plus either the and plus nasal sound, conjunct. So this has some controversy. I don't know really why. Conjunct. So, and the two most common words are Brahma, which should be pronounced as Brahma in my opinion, but some people say Brahma, and also Vahni, another one, which also, and this here also in this our current verse we have the word Grihnati. So Grihnati. So people might pronounce this as Grihnati. I think it should be Grihnati. Clearly the dhatu is grah. The hakar is the purvavarti varnaha. So anyway, you might see it being pronounced as Brahma. In the English books they even write Bramha. I don't think that is correct. So anyway, just as a side point. So I think Vyakarana should be really Brahma, Vahni, and Grihnati. Okay, let's go to the shloka. Let's see what we have. So first thing is Samyak Ucharanam. Pronounce it correctly, loudly. So that's also the big step. To pronounce these shlokas correctly is a big step. So, and now let's follow the commentary. Let's do that. Let's focus on the commentary. That's the most important thing. First of all, look how he starts. He says JT. What is a JT? It is Ja iti. Ja iti. So why does he put that? Because when the commentary is there, he may not have the Mula Partha with the commentary. So now he's going to tell you which part of the text he's commenting on. So now he's commenting on the shloka Ja iti, from Ja onwards. So Ja iti tells you, now I'm in that section, I'm going to comment on that verse. It's very important to know that, because a lot of the commentator will lead you. He will tell you where he is in the Mula Partha. Okay? He has to connect his comments to the original text. So Ja iti means Ja iti. So now he's commenting on verse number 15. So Atha, no commentary. So he has done a Padanvaya for you. Atha means then or now, Tayoho, no commentary, because it's Spashtam. It is Rama Lakshmana Yoho, Tayoho. Jyaninadam, also no commentary. Now that's a compound. So we saw Ja is the Morvi, is the, the string of the bow. So Jyaninadam means Jayaha Ninadam. It's simply a Shashti Tatpurusha. And when you have a Shashti Tatpurusha like that, almost nobody will give you the commentary on that. It's very, very straightforward, obvious compounds. So or you can say Jayayoho, Jayoho, because it's like Sitavat. So Sitayoho. So Jayayoho or Jayayaha, because there are two of them, there are two bowstrings. So become like Sitayoho. So Sitayoho, Jayoho. Jayoho Ninadam, because in the compound the vibhakti is lost, so you don't know how many bowstrings there were. There was one, two, or many, we do not know. But I think here we know there were two of them. So Jayoho, like Sitayoho, Ninadam. And that is the moment you see a Dvitiya vibhakti, always ask the question, this is the object of which verb or participle, or could be also a indeclinable. Because Dvitiya cannot stand on its own. It is the karma. It is the karma of some dhatu or avya. So avya also can express that same sense. So next word is grihnati. Grihnati. So dhatu is grah. Grah is to accept or to take up. So here he comments on that. This is the present participle, grihnati, and it equals janati. So he gives a paryaya shabda, because grihnati means really accepting. She who was, this is an adjective for that tadaka. See, these present participles in this language, they become adjectives. In English, they do not. Like I am going, you are going, we are going, everybody is going. So there's, going. But here you said, Ramaha gachan, Sita gachanti. So you'll have to decline them according to who is qualifying. So grhnati is to accept, but he gives a paryaya shabda, accepting the noise, means taking in the noise, receiving that noise of the bowstring of the two of them. So we can probably supply tayoho, dhanushoho, the two bows, jayoho ninadam grhnati, means janati, recognizing the sound of the bowstring. Means shunvati ityartaha, means listening to the sound, having heard the sound. So that it's a grhnati, he may finally makes it shunvati. So let's just derive this form quickly, grhnati. So we start from the dhatu grah, and what we have to do is start from the lat lakaraha. The lat lakaraha is because the present participles, the shatru and the shanach, they are adeshas for the lat. So we have to start from grah plus lat, and then we before removing the it letters of the lat, the entire lat becomes shatru or shanach respectively. If the speaker has to express that the continuous event kind of meaning. So that's right below vartamane lat. The next sutram is this one. Below vartamane lat, the next sutram is latash shatrishana cha apratama samanadhikarane. So lataha shatrishana cha apratama samanadhikarane. This is also a strange sutram because it says apratama samanadhikarane really. But right now we do have pratama samanadhikarane because grhnati is a feminine nominative singular form. Strilinge prathama vibhakti ekavachanam. So then how can we justify that? The way they justify is that because vartamane lat was the prior sutram, 3.2.123. 3.2.124 again says lataha shatrushana cha prathama samanadhikarane. So now that can also that the lat iti vartamane punarlat grahanam is for the ati deshartham, which means that kvachit prathama samadhikarane api prayujyate. Otherwise, if you look at the sutram 3.2.124 at face value, this usage should not be allowed because grhnati is prathama samadhikarane. But because of that reintroduction of lat, even though lat is available as anuvritti, that is used as an excuse to justify these forms. Either that, or you can try to fit it in one of the other sutras below that, maybe, possibly, maybe 3.2.126 in the special meanings. You can try to use that also, maybe. So anyway, bottom line is that we use 3.2.124 to make the lat lakara, the lat pratyaha into shatru or shanach. There's a typo over here, by the way. Should be shatru shanachao. Okay, so this is a typo in this one. Shatru shanachao. Apratama samadhikarane. So now which one do we take? Shatru or shanach? And there the sutram is that, depending on the dhatu. The dhatu is, prasip, padi dhatu, apani dhatu, what is it? So the dhatu, I think grah might be ubhayapadi. But in the text we have let us check the dhatu grah. If you look at the dhatu patha, the dhatu grah is in the ninth gana dhatu. And let's check dhatu grah. In fact, let's use our dictionary we haven't used in a long time. So let's try to use that. Let's see. Do I have the dictionary open here? Okay. Let me go to our links page and go from there. What do I do with that? No. Okay. Okay. So let's go to the dictionary, and there I think this dhatu is Ubhayapadi dhatu. This dhatu gra. Bhagavad Gita, dhatu partha, software links, Raghuvamsham, Raghuvamsham. Kalpeji, where's the dictionary on this one?
There, sixth one, Vyakarana books and links.
Vyakarana books and links.
After
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes, sorry, thank you. Yeah, look up a word. So let's look at the dhatu is gra. It's not gra. It's taken sampasaranam. So dhatu actually is gra. So let's see if we can find this one there in the dictionary. Update dictionary. Okay. So look up a word. I'm sorry. Okay, so the dhatu gra, and starting with search. I think what I should do is use only the definition words, not the whole thing. Let me try that. Okay. It's on page 678. It's Ubhayapadi. See 9U. It says 9U over here. Means it's Ubhayapadi. Okay. But then here the speaker wants to use the Parasmapadi form. But then which one do you use? Do you use the Kshatriya or the Shanach? And there the answer is that the Las Parasmapadam is that all the La Adeshas are by default they are Parasmapadam. But then we have Tangana Vatmanepadam. Tangana Vatmanepadam. So the tang, which means those 9 endings, ta, atam, ja, thas, atam, zam, id, vahi, mahing, those, and the ana, to the shanach, that will be the Atmanepadam. So laf parasmanepadam, tangana Atmanepadam. So that's 14100, and tells us that you should use the shanach will be Atmanepadam, and the default Kshatriya will be Parasmanepadam. So right now the speaker could have used either one, but he chooses to use the Parasmapadi form because the dhatu graph was Ubhayapadi. So we use 14100. If he had Shanach, should have used the Atmanepadam form, but 1499 tells us to use the Kshatriya Pratyaya is the default Parasmapadam form. So Parasmapadam is default. So 1499. So we use the, let's see, 1499 along with, I should put that one first, 32124 rather, 32124 along with the 1499. And that will give us we substitute the Kshatriya Pratyaya in place of I'm sorry. In place of lut. Then after that, what we have to do is that we have to actually, so now we got graph plus Kshatriya. Now in Kshatriya, what are the 8 letters? We have Upadeshan and Aj Anunasikrit and Lashakvatadite. I think all of you know these by now, 132 and 138. So Anubandha Lope At. But that sh as an it is going to bring the Kartari Shap, or if it's a different Gana, then it's going to be, the Gana Vikaranam is going to come in there. Because why is that? Because the Kartari Shap is only Sarvadhatuke and Ting Shit Sarvadhatukam. So this Pratyaya Kshatriya is just like the Ting Pratyayas, the verbal endings. This one also is going to be a Pratyaya which is Sarvadhatukam. So that's going to bring in, and it's Kartari Arthe. So you're going to get the either the shap or its apavada. So dhatu grah belongs to the ninth gana. It's a kriyadi gana, grihnati. So grihnati. So instead of shap, we get the gana vikaranam shna. Gana vikaranam shna comes in. Now I want to mention one more thing. I think if you have the Krudanta Rupamala, which gives you all the participle forms of each dhatu, even though it doesn't have the lat lakriya prakriya, it doesn't have lat prakriya, but it does have the shatri shanach. So you can also use the Krudanta Rupamala to get the lat lakara forms. Okay, so that can also be used in the reverse way. If you know the present participle form, you can back out to get the present tense forms also. So let's see. So 3168 is the Kartari Shap. That is the default. And below that then come all the other gana, Divadibhyashan and Swadibhyashnuho. And what we are looking at now is the Kriyadibhyashna. So by 3181 we get the Pratyaya Shna. Because you have Kartari and Sarvadhatu. Okay. So by 3181 the Gana Vikaranam Shna comes in. The Gana Vikaranam comes in Shna. So then use the 3181. 3181 bringing the Pratyaya Shna. So we get Grah plus Shna. And in the Shna also when you remove the it letters, you're going to end up with only the na, because again lashakatadhite. So anubandha lope only. So 3181, if you put that here, 3181. So this is the apavada for the shap. Because this dhatu grah happens to be in the ninth kana. Okay, so in anubandha lope we're going to get the grah plus na plus at. Now let's see what we have in the verse. Which form are we trying to get to? Trying to get the form grihnati. So we need two things to happen. It's also a good thing to look at is where are we heading towards? We are heading towards the form grihnati. Of course, in the end we can do the natvam. We can make the na into na. That operation will probably be the last operation. It's last because it comes in the tripadi section. The change from na to na comes in tripadi section. We are doing all the rules right now in this sapada saptadhyaya, so it has to wait. We need two more things to happen here. We want this refa to change to a r. It's called samprasaranam. Samprasaranam is the reverse of yan sandhi. Igyanas samprasaranam. Igyanas samprasaranam. Which is what we need. We need the refa to become into a ru. Igyanas samprasaranam. So igyanas samprasaranam is the definition of samprasaranam. And that will come in the first chapter. And then by 6.1.15.16, we know which dhatus, as a general rule, take samprasaranam. And when do they take that? So Igyanas samprasaranam is, the number is, I'll give you the number there, number 1145. So 1145 defines samprasaranam. And then 6.1.15.16, these are two rules. What do they tell us 6.1.15.16? They tell us, there are these 20 dhatus. As a general rule, take samprasaranam. 11 plus 9, 20 dhatus. And the 11 dhatus are given in 6.1.15 and 9 are given in 6.1.16, and this dhatu grah is in 6.1.16 list. What is the condition there? Vachi, swapi, yajadi nang kiti. And then grahijya vai vyadhi vashti vichati vrishchati prichati vijjati nang niticha. So the first, the 6.1.15 talks about the dhatu vach, swap, and the yajadis. Yajadis are the last 9 dhatus in the bhwadi gana yajadis. So we have how many? We have vach, swap, the 2 of them, and yajadi is the last 9 of the bhwadi gana. So these 11 dhatus take some prasaranam. When the pratyaya is kiti, kit pratyaya pare, kiti pratyaya pare. These other remaining 9 in the 6.1.16 list, which is the grahi, jya, vai, vyadhi, vashti, vichati, vrishchati, prichati, vrijjati, they take niticha. So they can have a pratyaya falling which is either kit or nyat. It can be either the ka as an it or the ka varga panchama, na as an it. Now what do we have right now? we have the pratyaya shna following. We have pratyaya shna. So now what's going to happen is that by using the sarvadhatukam apit, sarvadhatukam apit makes the shna into nitvat. Nitvat. So the moment you have a pratyaya which is sarvadhatukam, does not have po as an it, that becomes nitvat. So that sutram is 1, 2, 4. We'll look at that in a second. So by 1, 2, 4, this by 1, 2, 4, the affix shna becomes nitvat, nitvat, as if it has gnaz in it. Because unless we get that, we are not going to be able to do samprasaranam. So make shna is pratyaya, as we discussed, sarvadhatukam, tingsh is sarvadhatukam, and now because of the sarvadhatukam apit, sarvadhatukam apit. So remember that sutram, very important sutram, because in fact the moment you have a pratyaya which is sarvadhatukam, always check 1, 2, 4, sarvadhatukam apit, because once it becomes nitvat, it cannot do any guna because of 115 kiniticha. It also causes samprasaranam. So all these things happen only when we have nitvat. So 1, 2, 4, sarvadhatukam apit, sarvadhatukam apit. That should be really your first stop when you have a pratyaya which is sarvadhatukam. So first thing you check, does this pratyaya have pa as an it or not? If it does not have, then immediately mark it as nitvat, sarvadhatukam apit. So then, now that we know that the shna is nitvat, now we can apply the 6.1.16, because that sutram said that these 9 dhatus take samprasaranam when the pratyaya following is kiti or niti pare, 6.1.16. So when you think about samprasaranam, check 6.1.15 and 6.1.16. These two are the main. There are some sutras below that also, but these are two main ones. So and the first one is dhatu is grah. In 6.1.16, the very first one is grahi. So grahijya. So it immediately says. So now samprasaranam is reverse of the yan sandhi. Igana samprasaranam. That's 1.145. So do we have a yan in the dhatu? There's only one yan in the dhatu grah. There's only one yan, which is the repha, because hayavarat lan. So yavara lan. So there's only one repha. And the reverse, when you do the samprasaranam, we got the ik. What is ik? Ayan rulrak. So e r. And here you have the hayavarat. So yavara and la. So the repha is going to become the r. So that's going to become the samprasaranam. So that solved one problem for us. So we use the definition 1.145, and then you can do the substitution by using 6.1.16, and so we're going to now make it into grh plus na and plus at. Okay, now we need only one more step now. Really, actually, we need two more steps, which is we need to. So let me put these numbers here. So this is by 1.1.45 and 6.1.16. 6.1.16. So the moment you see samprasaranam, you should check these sutras 6.1.15, 16. You're going to see it all the time. The very first this in Bhagavad Gita, right, is Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Right there you have the word Uvacha. That U is samprasaranam of U is U. So of course there you have to use 6.1.17. So that is all these 20 dhatus in the abhyasa of lit, they take samprasaranam. So the word Uvacha, you have the verb becoming U in the abhyasa, the 6.1.17 samprasaranam. Okay, so we got this now. So grh na at. Now we want this of na to go away. If we can get that, we'll get the form grh nat. Then remaining should be easy. Then we can add the long e for the feminine, and we can make the na into na. So that sutram is shnabhyastayorataha. Shnabhyastayorataha. And that comes in 6.4. It also requires the pratyaya to be kit nit pratyaya following. Now, before we go there, note one more thing, that even this pratyaya shatru which came in, that was also a pratyaya which is sarvadhatukam, tings is sarvadhatukam. It also did not have any pers and it. So that kshatriya also becomes nitvat by the same rule 1, 2, 4. By 1, 2, 4, so by the same rule 1, 2, 4, even the pratyaya kshatriya is going to be nitvat. Same sutram 1, 2, 4, this kshatriya is also nitvat. Because we need that. Why do we need that? Because the next rule which you're going to apply now requires that. Is also nitvat. So from now on, it's a good lesson for us to learn. The moment we have a pratyaya which is sarvadhatukam, immediately check 1, 2, 4. It's also nitvat. So shnabhyastayor ataha. So let's go, I think it's 6, 4, around 110, something like that. Shnabhyastayor ataha. I think 6, 4 is one of the most important parts of the Ashtadhyayi, because a lot of the Anga Karyam is being done in 6.4. So Shnabhyastayor ataha. So 6, 4, 1, 1, 2. Anuvritti is coming, which is the Kiniti is coming. In fact, let's go to our Vritti. Let's see what the Vritti says of 6, 4, 1, 1, 2. Shnabhyastayor ataha. Let's see what it says. 6, 4, 1, 1, 2. Just want to make sure that all the conditions are satisfied. So you want to remove the ataha, and I think lopa anuvritti is coming down for 6, 4, 1, 1, 2. And also we need the pratyaya kitnit pratyaya falling. Let's see what the Kashika says, 6, 4, 1, 1, 2. Always check the vrittis. Get into that habit. Shna iti etasya abhyastanam cha. Abhyastam we don't have right now, okay. Anganam akarasya lopo bhavati sarvadhatuke kiniti parataha. Now the pratyaya kshatriya was sarvadhatukam, is sarvadhatukam because tingshit sarvadhatukam. It is nit pratyaya because of sarvadhatukam apit, and it is, so all the conditions are satisfied, and we have the shna preceding that, so then akarasya lopaha bhavati. So that 6, 4, 1, 1, 2 can help us to remove that akar of na. So now we're going to get the form grah nat. Now we're almost there. Let me also, before we go ahead, let me tell you one shortcut for all of this. One shortcut for all of this is that, okay, so this is going to become into just na, because we applied the 6, 4, 1, 1, 2. 6, 4, 1, 1, 2. Snabhyastayor ataha. Okay, so what happens is that all this what we have done so far, the same steps would have come into play had we looked at the third person plural lat lakara form. Instead of bringing kshatriya, had we brought the G, the third person tiptaj G, the G pratyaya, all these same steps would have come into play. Why is that? Because the G would have become anti jo antaha. That anti is also pratyaya which is sarvadhatukam. It is also pratyaya which is ajadi. It's also an apit pratyaya. So the same steps would have come if instead of the at, if we had anti, the G become Jivanta becoming anti, you get the same steps. So what that means is that if you know the third person plural lat lakara form, grishnanti, you can remove the anti and add the at as a quick shortcut to get the pratipadikam of the shatranta pratipadikam, present participle. Let me put that there. So a shortcut of deriving this form is to, that's why I'm saying if you know the present participle form, you can back out the lat lakara third person plural form and vice versa. So you can use this back and forth. So that's why I told you that even if you had Krudanta Rupamala, that can be used to get the lat lakara forms. Shortcut to get the present participle form is to take the third person plural present tense form and remove the remove anti and add at. Anti or ati is like sometimes it might be ati if it's going to be the, let me just put the general rule over here, then you have to maybe tweak it a little bit. remove anti or ati as the case may be, and then add the at. And the reason this works is because that pratyaya ji, when it becomes jvantaha, or it might become adabhyastat or whatever, when it becomes anti or ati, regardless, it is also going to be a pratyaya sarvadhatukam, also apit, and you get all the same steps. If you know the form grishnanti, you can remove the anti, add the at, get the form grishnat. Also, before you go any further, this form comes in the Bhagavad Gita in the masculine form. Pashyan, Shrindvan, Sprishan, Jigran, Nashnan, Gachan, Sapanshasam. It's prior to that. Naiva Kinchit Karo Miti Yukto Manyet Tattavita. Pashyan, Shrindvan, Sprishan, Jigran, Nashnan, Gachan, Sapanshasam. Pralapan Visijan Gurnan. Unmishan, Nimishan, Napi. So Pralapan Visijan Gurnan. So Gurnan form comes in Bhagavad Gita. If you know that, then you don't have to do any of this. You can just take the Gurnhat is a Pratipadikam there, and you can just make it in a feminine form. I think it's very early in the 5th Adhyaya. 5th Adhyaya is there's a very nice string of present participles there. And those are all the Parasmapadi dhatus that has been taken to make them rhyme properly. And then there is the form Grindhan comes there. Here it is. So, Pralapan Visijan Grindhan. So, number 9th shloka, 5th Adhyaya, the form Grindhan is there. And it's a masculine, nominative singular form, with the same steps we can do to get this form here also. So I think I'll put Gita 5.9. Always make Gita our home base, be very comfortable in life. So 5.9. Okay, so what do you have so far? We have Grih Nat is what we have. Now we need two more things. We have to make it into feminine form because this is going to qualify the Tadaka. Rakshasi. So you have to make it feminine form. Feminine means what? You check the routine from 413 toward 4181. It says Triyamadikara. It has to pass through that. Nothing can be used in the feminine until it passes through that routine. And there is a sutram which says Ugitascha. Ugitascha. And that's so anything which is uk as an it, we'll take the Neep Pratyayaha. Neep, Ugitascha. Now we use the form Shatru here. The Shatru has the uk as an it. Uk is what? Ayun rul ruk, right? So the uk will be u r r. When the one of these three is a marker on the pratyaha, then to make the feminine, you have to bring in the pratyaya neep, ugitascha, ugitascha. So always check the feminine section, the striyamadikaraha. So it goes about from 413 to 4181. Before you use anything in the feminine, you have to scan that. And the more if you practice that, slowly you get. Of course, the most important rules, the first 3-4 rules are very important there. And Ugitascha is one of the rules there. Now you know why Panini puts all his affixes he puts all his markers very judiciously, so he can trigger all these rules from based on those markers. So Ugitascha is 416. Any pratyaya which is uk as an it means u, r, l as an it. That brings in the neep to bring the feminine form. So the 416 we're going to make it the. So far we have this one. We're going to add the long e. Okay. Now there is one more thing which I want to tell you. I know this is a lot of rules to take in, but the good news is that in one form you can learn a lot of rules. So also the other way to look at it is that I like some of these forms because in one form you can get so many rules to learn. Of course, in the Neep you have the Halantyam and also the Lashakvatadite. So only the Anubandha Lope, only the E remains, the long E. So basically this is just a long E with the two markers. So I think that number was 416. 416. Okay. So before we go to Tripadi, I want to look at 4 more rules which don't apply here. So they're very tricky rules and they are favorite exam questions. Favorite exam questions. We don't have exams over here, but if you take any exams, you can almost guarantee one question will be coming from this one. And it tells you when to bring the Numagamaha. in this present participle form. And those are coming in the, I think it's 7-1, 79, 80, I think 81, 82, somewhere there, 79. So 7-1 is the Numagamaha section. Let's see what it says, What it says that, okay, this Nabhyastha Chatuhu. Nabhyastha Chatuhu. So if Abhyastanga is there, then Shatru Pratyaya does not take the Numagamaha. Why is that rule? Because the rule is that because of 7170, the Ugidacham Sarvanama Sthaniya Dhatoho. If you have Sarvanama Sthana following, and anything with uk as an it will bring the Numagamaha. But this one says Nabhyastha Chatuhu. The Chatru does have the uk as an it, which you just saw that. So 7178 would stop the Numagama if you had Abhyastanga. But right now what's happening for us is that we brought in the Pratyaya Neep in between there. So once the Neep comes in between, then the declension comes after the Neep. So it's not going to be able to bring the Numagama. But let's look at the next sutram. It says Vanapumsakasya. If that's in the neuter, we don't have neuter. But the next one, the 80-81, the 7-1, 80-81 are the ones to look at to check if we need to bring a Num Agama in the feminine or in the neuter dual. The neuter dual is a rare form, not used very much, mainly in the feminine. What does it say? Achi nadyor num. At. At means avarna anta anga. So if you have a avarna anta anga prior to the Kshatriya, then in the feminine and in the neuter dual, the Shi Pratyaya, the neuter normative accusative dual, we get the Numagamaha. Now what do we have? Did we have that? We better not have that because we don't have the Numagama over here. So we have this Grihna. This is the Angam for Shatru Pratyaya. For Shatru Pratyaya, the Angam is Grihna. It's not ending in the Avarna. If it were, we get a Numagama over here for the Shatru Pratyaya. Like for example, if you take the form Dhatu Bhu becomes Bhavanti, then you make it Bhavat Pratipadikam. It becomes Bhavanti. As the feminine form will be Bhavanti, not Bhavati, it will be Bhavanti. So, but here we have the Angam ending in Nakara, not in the Avarna. So that is what stopped that Achi Nadyor Num. That Achi Nadyor Num, you should check that. And then the next one says Shap Shanor Nityam, because that's optional. That also is optional. But Shap Shanor Nityam, if prior to the Shatru Pratyaya, if you have the Shap or Shan, it is Nityam. There's only a single form. Only that Bhavanti is a single, like Gachanti, Bhavanti. These are all Patanti. So this is the form it would have been in the feminine present participle, Prasnipadam. It's only for the Shatru Pratyaya, okay? The Shatru Pratyaya, if you have the Angam ending in the Avarna, it brings the Num Agama optionally. But the next one says that if it's Shap or Shan, prior to that Shatru, then it is Nityam. Also this rule, unfortunately, sometimes the literature is not followed very well. Once in a while, they will violate this rule. But anyway, according to Panini, this is what should take place. Now, we don't have that because the condition is At. And right now, we have Nakaranta Angam. So we do not have to worry about this rule 7180 or 81. We don't have 81 because we have Pratyaya Shna. We don't have Shap or Shan. So 7180, 81, they don't apply to us. 7180, 81, but you should check them. Because they are very difficult rules, and people make. It's easy to make mistakes. Actually, I think I also made a mistake in the first class. So 780 and 81 do not apply to us. Do not apply because of the fact that because the Angam, our Angam ends in na and not in the avarna. Ends in na and not in long or short a. Okay, so that's one check we have to do. And then the last thing now we have to check is is to get the nattum, is to change that na into na. Once you do that, we'll get the Pradipadikum Grihnati, which is what we want. So that will come in the, in the Ashtadhyayi, there are 39 rules. There are 39 rules when to change the na to the Murdhanya Nakara. There are 841 to 8439, nice and compact section. The moment you want to change the na to a na, you have to find some rule in 841 to 8439. What is 84? Of course, 841 and 2 are the most important rules. 841 says Rashabhyan no nas samanapade. So if you have the Repha or the Murdhanya Shakaraha, they are the nimittam which can change the na to a na. According to 841, if you have the Repha, the Murdhanya Shakaraha, immediately preceding, followed by the Dantya Nakara, the Dantya Nakara will become a Murdhanya Nakara if it's Samanapade. It has to be Samanapade. What do we have right now? We do not have either one of those. But there is a Vartikam on that rule. It says, Ruvarna Nattam Vachyam. So the Ru can also cause the Nattam. So Katyayana puts a Vartikam on that even the Ru can also cause Nattam. So we do have the Ru. But we have the Hakara intervening here. It is all Samanapade because this Krishnati is one Pradipadikam. So it's all in Samanapade. That one is fine. But we have the Ha intervening. We have the Ru, which is the Vartikam on 841. Then we have the Ha intervening. So we have to use 842. At Kupvang Num Yavaya Pi. So these can also intervene in any combination between the Nimittam and the Karyam. Tathapi Karyam Bhavati. So even then you get the Karyam. What are they? At. Pratyaya At means up to Hayava Rat. So the Hakara is in the At Pratyahara. So that is what we need right now. Also the Kavarga, Pavarga, and a couple of other things also can intervene. So for now we have to use 842. The 842 has to be used because we have the Ha intervening between the R and the Na. So the 842 finally will make us into the Grihnati. Actually, technically speaking, we should firstly decline this thing. We have to, because we need a feminine. This is like Nadivat now. Nadivat. So when we get the form Grihnati to begin with, and then you have to this will decline like Nadi. So when you add the Su, we want the feminine nominative singular. We're going to leave the Upadesh Ajana Nasika It, and then remove the Sa by 6168. Halmi Abhyo Dirgha Sutisya Bhuktam Hal. So when you have this nominative singular Sa remaining there, and the Pratipadikam ends in a Pratipadikam, I mean it ends into a consonant, or if you have it ending in this feminine Ni or Ab, like Nadi or Devi or Sita, Lata, then this nominative singular ending Sa, that Sa drops. So 6168. Halni Abhyo Suti Siya Prukta. I mean Dirghat. So 6168 is what you want to use. So the moment you have a Pratipadikam ending in a consonant or in the feminine A or the long feminine E, in those three cases that ending, that Sa immediately drops. So Halni Abhyo Dirghat Su Ti Si. So the Su, the Sakara of the Su. Apruktam Hal. It has to be a single letter Hal. So in the Su, we remove the U by Upadesh Ananasika It, and now we have remaining the Sa. So 6168. And then we apply that 842 finally, because we have to finish the Sapada Saptadhyayi Karyam first. The Sapada Saptadhyayi Karyam has to be finished first. Then once the Pada is ready, then we can go to Tripadi. So Tripadi Karyam has to wait until the Sapada Saptadhyayi is done. So after all that, then we can finally get the final form, which is the Grihnati. And that will require 842. Okay, so let's recap one more time quickly. What we did was we started with Grah plus Lat. And the Lat, normally we bring Lasya, Tiptajji, etc. But since the participle form was desired, we brought in by 3 to 124, we use the so we use 3 to 123 Vartamane Lat, then 3 to 120. So maybe I should put that also. Vartamane Lat has to be used first, and then in place of Lat, we got the Latashatra Chava Prathama Samadhikarane, and we made a little bit extension there. We do have Prathama Samadhikarane, but because of the Lat and Lat being said twice, sometimes we can also use Prathama Samadhikarane. So that's how we use 3 to 124 to replace Lat by Shatra. And Shatra, because it's the Parasmapadam form, because of the Laf Parasmapadam, Tangana Atmanepadam, the Shanash would be Atmanepadam, and Shatra is the default Parasmapadam. So we got, and then we used Upadeshadana Nasika It and the Rashakvatade, Graf plus At. Then because the Shatra Pratyaya is distinguished Sarvadhatukam, we had Kartari Shap. But this is the 9th Gana Dhatu, so we got the Gana Vikaranam Shna, Kriyadi Gana. And then we removed the it letter, the Shakvatadite, and then we used 1 to 4 to make it into Nyatvat, Sarvadhatukam Apit, Sarvadhatukam Apit. The moment we got that, we could do Samprasaranam by 6.116, Grahijya Ityadi. So the Pratyaya is Nyat iti pare. So then the Repa became Ru, Grh Na plus At. And the Shatru also is going to be Nitvat, is also a Savadhatukam Apit. So then we use Nabhyastyorataha to remove the A of Na, Grh Na plus At. And then finally we brought in the feminine affix Neep Ugitascha, because the Shatru has the Ru as an It. We brought the Neep, we Grh Na Ti. And we checked 7180, 81 do not apply to us because our Angam ends in Nakara, not in the Avarana. So we don't apply these 7180, 81, and then we declined it, bringing the nominal singular form, and then we use 6168 Halniyabhyo Dirihat to remove the Sa. Finally, we did the Atkupvanyum Gavaya Pi Ten Natum Na to Na, get the form Grishnati. Okay, so that's the form that we have there. The important thing here is Samprasaranam. That's probably was the tricky thing. Otherwise, remaining is kind of normal. So. And he is replacing it by the word by the dhatu nya. Because really grah is to really to accept or to take, to receive, grahanam, or even to like to catch kind of. But janati means catching that voice. Means janati, recognizing this. The janati form, look how he has beautifully done that. He maintains the same form in the commentary. If you don't understand the form Grishnati, look at the Paryaya Shabda. Generally they will maintain the same form. So he'll maintain the same present participle form in the feminine declined nominative singular. So that is the dhatu nya. And the dhatu nya, only thing there is that the nya becomes ja. Nya janor ja. Only the form janati, you form the same steps, except the dhatu was nya, and that became ja by 7.3, I think 80-ish. So these two dhatus, the dhatu nya and jan, they become ja when the pratyay shiti pare. So 7.3 around 80-ish, that rule, yeah, 7.379, nya janor ja. So the nya changed to ja by 7.379 shiti pare. Otherwise the form is the same, all the same steps. So we'll put that over here. That's in the commentary, of course. But okay, so the nya changed to ja by 7.379. That only happens when it is shiti pare. So in our case, we had the pratyaya shatra coming there. So that was what was changed the nya into ja, shiti pare. Actually, the shatra brings the shna. The shna is the shiti pare. That changed the nya into ja. Okay. Okay. So 7.379. Because when you follow all these steps, when we get the pratyaya shatra brings in the shna, and the shna changes into. Okay, Vasu's hand is up. I may have it in a typo, maybe possibly.
No, there's no typo.
No typo. Okay, good. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
This Ninada Shabda.
Ninada.
I don't understand. There is Repa in this one short form there, or Ninadam.
Ninadam.
Ninadam, is it?
Ninadam atha grunhati.
Oh, okay. I didn't understand whether it's a bindu or not.
No, that is the footnote one.
That's a footnote. Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the footnote number 1 is below.
okay. And how do you derive that ninadam?
Now,
Is that
dhatu is nad.
nad or nad?
Nad in dhatu pata, but the nad becomes nad because of the
Okay.
dhatu adesha saha no naha. And you probably have to use the pratyaya ghai only. So nad is to sound, nada is sound. And ninada is just basically the upasarga ni, like a loud sound, like a special sound kind of thing.
Okay, it is not abhyasa.
No, abhyasa, no. The upasarga is ni.
Upasarga is.
Upasarga is ni and the dhatu is nad.
Okay.
Ninada.
Thank
So
you.
it's a special. Okay, so good. So so that's the only thing special there. What I said was the nya becoming ja shiti pare. Pratyashna was coming in, so that made it into janati. I think I do have it in the. Okay, so that's the comment. Then he said. Then the same thing. He gives another parya shabda. He gives, which he gives shunvati. So same steps. Dhatu is actually shunvati also. One sutram involved in that. Is what happens is that the dhatu shru actually sha ra u, and that becomes shru, the sha plus r, when you have the gana vikaranam coming in, which is the shnu coming in. The interesting thing is the dhatu shru sha ra u is actually in the first gana, but Panini says that use the gana vikaranam shnu after that, and when that happens, you make it into shru. So this is a strange dhatu. And actually the reason why that Panini has put in the, why does Panini put the dhatu shru in the first gana and then tells us to use the gana vikarana of the fifth gana? I think if you look at Apte dictionary, I think Apte is put in the fifth gana directly. He doesn't put in the first gana. Because I think the reason given by some people is that you might see some very old forms which might be the first gana form, like Shravati. Normally we say Shunoti. But you might see a form like Shravati, because that is why I think Panini has left it in the first gana. But he tells for the most part it uses only the fifth gana vikaranam shnu, because this 3174 Shruva Shrucha. The Shruva Shrucha says that this dhatu shru sha ra u will take the gana vikaranam shnu, even though it is, vadigane patitopi, even if it is in the vadigana. You'll take the shnu gana vikaranam, and when that happens, it becomes shru, sha, r. So if you see the form like the shru becoming shru, then you know that it must be taken the gana vikaranam shnu. So what 3174 changes this the shru to shru. 3174. These are the special rules. 3174. So 3174 changes the. And that only happens when the shnu comes. Changes the shru and makes it into the shru. I'm sorry. And that and it also brings the gana vikaranam shnu. These two things happen simultaneously. They happen simultaneously. Let's see if I can. And brings the vikaranam, which is the shnu, even though this is in the first kana dhatu. Karanam shnu. Okay. So otherwise, he's just given the same forms to us. Nothing new. So let's see what next thing he says. Then it says bahula kshapa chavihi. Okay, now this is an interesting word now. What is the commentary on that? It's clearly qualifying the tadaka. And the commentary is that Krishna paksha ratri varna doesn't give the vigraha vakyam. He only gives the paryaya shabdas. Which means what? Which means that we should be able to figure out the vigraha vakyam on our own. But now bahula is coming, normally bahula means like many or various, But here it means bahulaha krishna pakshe cha iti vishvaha. I told you before these Vishwaha and Amarakosha and Halayudaha and Medini, and all these are the lexicon of this language. So they will give you all the special nuances of each word, what different words they can, it's like a thesaurus kind of thing, This Bahula Krishna Pakshe cha. So this Bahula means Krishna Paksha. Now I don't know how, I think probably Bahula is probably because it is very dark. Bahula means like a lot, excess. It has excess of darkness. Probably because Krishna Pakshe cha. This comes in Gita, by the way. The word Bahulam comes in Gita and also comes in Ashtadhyayi many places, because Panini uses the word Chandasi Bahulam. It is a sutra which is repeated the most in the Ashtadhyayi is Chandasi Bahulam, Bahulam Chandasi. Bahulam Chandasi means that in the Vedas there will be many various forms. There will be many variations in the Vedic text. Chandasi Bahulam, Bahulam Chandasi. Now, in Gita, where does it come? Anybody? Anybody in the class? The word Bahula in the Gita. Chapter 18. In the Rajasika Karma. Okay, anybody will give some time for you to think. Chapter 18. Abhisandhayatu phalam dambhatum vichayaveta kriyate bahulayasam. And that is I guess slightly wrong. Chapter 18 is the Rajasika Karma, which is done with lot of strain. Kriyate bahulayasam tad rajasam udaharatam. So that kind of work is called to be Rajasika Karma. Let's see. Sangrahitam raga dveshadakatam phala presunakamitas sattikam uchyate yattu phalamuddishya punaha kriyate bahulayasam tad rajasamudaratam anubandham kshayam himsa. It'll probably be around 20ish, I would think, maybe a little bit before that. Kriyate bahulayasam. Let's see. Here it is, I think, bahulayasam. Yattu kamep suna karma sahankarina va punaha kriyate bahulayasam tad rajasam udaharatam. So action which is done by somebody who wants the results, and which with an egoistic attitude, and which is done with great strain, that is called rajasam udaharatam. So who wants to enjoy the results of that, and who's an egoistic, and which is done with a lot of effort, that is called. So bahulayasam. So ayasa is, praratna, effort. So bahula, so that which has a lot of strain and effort in it. Anyway, so bahulam comes in here, but that's not the meaning here. And that is, see, one more thing you should note, that the fact that he has to quote from the Vishwaha means that this is not the regular meaning, you see. The fact that he has to go and quote from the Bahula Krishna Pakshecha means it is not the Samanya Artha Nasti. Okay? So that's what he's saying. Let's start with the Vigraha Vakyam on our own. Bahula Kshapa Chavihi. Now, Kshapa also means Ratri. Ratrihi. Dhatu, I think, Kshayi, Kshaye. Dhatu is Kshayi. It is a causative form, actually. You get the Puk Agamaha. So, Cheshtam Kshapayati iti Kshapa. So, which puts an end to activity. That is Kshapa. That's the Puk Agama in there. And that is it is because Mitam Rasvaha. It is one of the dhatus which becomes rasva again. So the kshayi become ksha, become like sthapayati, becomes sthapi, become dhatu kshapi. And then you bring the pratyaya ach, pachadi ach, become, and then actually make it short again because this is the mitam rasvaha. So because become kshapa. And then finally, because it's feminine, begin the ta pratyaya. I'm going too fast. Otherwise, we spend a lot of time on this one also. The one that I want to point out only is the Mitam Rasvaha, is that Sutram is, and the Pukagamaha has come there. Dhatu is Kshayi. So, and it's a causative form. So, Mitam Rasvaha says that when you have the Nishpratyaha, you make it Rasva again. So, you make the Upada Rasva again. So, I think it is 6492 Mitam Rasvaha. And the pratyaya is the pachadiyach, it's a kartari form. So 6492 mitam rasvaha. This is an interesting concept, by the way. Mitam rasvaha says that no pare. So when you have the upada becomes rasva again, if the dhatu is marked with mo as an it, Now, as it turns out, these dhatus are not actually marked with mers in it, but there is a section in the Bhvadigana from the Ghatadayo myth, from the dhatu Ghata, etc. And some of those may not be also in the Bhvadigana dhatus. They are just put there to make them myths. So this mitam section, which dhatu is marked with mers and it, is most of them are listed in the Bhvadigana dhatu Ghatadayo mitaha. And from there you will find this dhatu kshayi. It may not even be a Bhvadigana dhatu, but by mitam rasvaha, they put them all in there. So instead, when you get the dhatu kshayi becomes ksha by 6145. Remember what I told you? Any dhatu ending in h, which is what ayong, ayauch, a, I, o, au, they immediately become akarantas if the pratyaya following is not the talavya than it. Adech upadesha shiti. Adech upadesha shiti. So dhatu is kshayi. It's going to become ksha by 6145. Then you add the nich pratyaya, get in, because you want a causative form. And you get the puk agama. Because the moment it becomes like the sthapayati. In Gita you have ratham sthapayamechyuta. There you have the dhatu stha to begin with stha. But here you have to make it first from kshayi to ksha by 6145. Adech upadesha shiti. I just put these numbers here, and adech upadesha shiti becomes any dhatu ending in a, o, I, au. Immediately becomes an akarantaha. If the pratyaya coming is not going to be talavya then it, we have the pratyaya nich coming right now. So that becomes ksha. Then you get the puk agamaha by in sutram in 7.3. That brings the puk agamaha. I think it's 7.3, probably arti, rivli, etc. 7.3, probably a little bit before. 7.3. It starts with the arti, rivli. Yes, number 36. Arti, rivli, ri, knui, kshmai, atam, puk, now. So when you have any akaranta dhatus and all of these others, they will take the puk agama now pare. So you get the form. So that's 7336. I should just put in the document some of these numbers. So you get, so dhatu was actually kshayi. Dhatu was kshayi. And then, okay, then that, first of all, the 6145, change it to ksha, because the condition was that we're going to bring it the pratyaya nich to follow that, because we want a causative form. And then we got the puk agamaha by 7336. So 7336 brings in the puk agamaha. So then it brings puk, which is basically the puk only means pa, because halantam upadesha nasika it. So bring in the puk agamaha, and then what happens is that so we get the form kshapi, and once you get kshapi, you have to add the pachadi ach. So pachadi ach is going to add the rastram which we have seen before, pachadi ach. You can basically take this and before even bring with pachadi ach, we can make the mitam rasvaha. So instead of getting kshapi, we will have the form kshapi. So then apply the 66492 to make it into kshapi. And then you can add the pratyaya ach, and when the ach comes, because that is to make an active noun, this pachadi dhatus pach, etc. can add the pratyaya ach to make it into an active case, in the active sense, I should say. Now the pachadi is an extendable list. So that allows us to use it to these dhatus, even though this dhatu may not be listed in there, but still we can use that, and that is the 31134 means pachadi ach. And finally what happens is that the Because this pratyaya ach is a pratyaya which is ardhadhatukam. It cannot take in any idagama because it's not valadi, because only valadis can take idagama. Then we use the 6451 to drop the niche, because the moment you have pratyaya which is ardhadhatukam, which is does not have an idagama, the niche drops, because that says that the neraniti. So anidada ardhadhatuka pare ner lopasyat. So that drops the niche pratyaya. And then finally we get kshapa. We have the form kshapa. And after all that, then we have to finally add the ajadyata shtap to make it into a feminine form. So add the long a, which is the top, to make it into a feminine form, become kshapa. So this is how this whole thing works. So 414. Hopefully I'm going through all these steps because you can get a feel for some of how the Ashtadhyayi engine works. How does this machine work? Because this computer program, how does it link all the pieces together and derive all these forms? If you can try to get a feel for that, maybe that'll, because ultimately you need that. There's no way to really shortcut this. You need that. So ajadyata shtab. If we want to use in the feminine, we bring in the top and remove the it letters, the chutu and halantyam, and you do the akastamani dirgha, make it kshapa. So cheshtam kshapayati iti kshapa. So the she is the one which destroys or which erodes our activity. Okay, so now what is no vigraha vakyam but he has given the bahula equals Krishna paksha, kshapa equals ratri, and chavi is like a hue or a complexion, whose complexion is like that of it. So here is a bahuvrihi compound. How do you know that? Look at the parya shabda he has given. Krishna paksha ratri varna. I told you many times that when you see the change of gender at the end like that, that is 100% sign it's going to be a bahuvrihi. Shouldn't say 100%, at least 99% is bahuvrihi. So the fact that he has made it, Malinath has made it into varna, he's telling you it's a bahuvrihi form. But why no vigraha vakyam? The vigraha vakyam we should know to do on our own. So first we form the bracket, the Krishna paksha ratrihi, which is bahula kshapa. So bahulasya kshapa. So it is the ratri which belongs to the Krishna paksha. And then comes this bahuvrihi form, which are given the name Ushtra-mukha. Ushtra-mukha means what? Ushtrasya mukham iva mukham yasya saha. One whose face is like the face of a camel. One whose face is like the face of a camel is called Ushtra-mukha. Now what's happened here is that it should be Ushtra-mukha-mukha. Because what we're saying is Ushtrasya mukham iva mukham yasya saha. But then one mukha is dropped to make it out, because there's no need to repeat that. So can we do that here? So bahula kshapayaha, like sitayaha, chavihi iva chavihi yasyaha sa. So she was the one whose complexion or whose hue or color was like the color of the night of a Krishna paksha. So again, one more time. So bahula kshapa will be a simple shashti tatpurushaha. Then make a bahuvrihi. See, bahuvrihi only 5 rules. 2 to 23 to 2 to 28, only 5 rules. In that, the main one is 2 to 24. That has some vartikams on it. And the Ushtra-mukha is one of the vartikams on that. Look at it in a second. But the vigraha vakam should be bahulasya kshapayaha chavihi iva chavihi yasyaha sa. The one whose complexion is like the complexion of the night of the dark half of the moon. So 2 to 24 vartikam. 2 to 24 vartikam. Let's quickly go to that. Let me just give you the vartikam. That 2 to 24 is the main rule for bahuvrihi samasas. I told you also, if you want to form a compound in this language, you have to find some rule in 2.1 or 2.2, which will allow that kind of compound formation. Okay, they are both small padas, which are kind of easy to master. So bahuvrihi only 5-6 rules are there. So we are at 2 to 24. If you look at 2 to 24, aneka manya padarthe. So Bahuvrihi is Anya Padarthe, is qualifying. And here, let us see what he says, is Upama. Yeah, so this is the one. Ushtrasya mukham iva mukham yasya saha ushtramukaha kharamukaha. So one whose face is like a camel, or whose face is like a donkey. He says Saptami upamana purvapadasya. So upamana purvapadasya. You have a simile. Uttarapada lopascha vaktavyaha. It should be ushtrasya mukham iva mukham. So that the ushtra mukha, that one mukha has gone away. So what do we have? Bahula kshapayaha chavihi eva chavihi yasyaha sa. Use this Vartikam on 2 to 24 and you can form. Now, of course, Malinatha did not give us the Vigraha Vakyam because he just gave us another Bahuvrihi and he expects us to look up these 5-6 sutras, mainly 2 to 24 and figure it out. So you realize one more thing, that if you're going to use 2 to 24, you probably won't get a Vigraha Vakyam from the Tikakara because that is supposed to be elementary for us now. So we'll practice in the class. So use 2 to 24 Vartikam. 2 to 24, use the Vartikam, which is basically these are called as Ushtamukha Samasas because that's like a typical formation of this Vartikam, given in the Kashika also. So use the Ushtamukha. So because sometimes the commentary will just say Ushtamukha, then you have to know what he's trying to say. To form the compound Bahula Kshapa Chavihi. So unfortunately what happened was that we did not get the change in gender because the Ikara and the Shabda, right, Hari and Matihi, they both look the same. So we could not immediately identify Bahuvri here. The change in gender was not obvious to us because it was the same form. I'm sorry. Okay, so that's what he's saying. All right, so that's one adjective qualifying the Tadaka. Let's see what the next one he takes. Next one he's taking is this one now. Chala Kapala Kundala. That also is a Bahuvri, you can tell, right? Because Kundalam is like Vanam Vane Vanani, Kundalani. The fact that Kundalam became Kundala, immediately you should know it's Bahuvri. Now what is it? This he gives a Vigraha Vakyam now. Chale kapale eva kundale yasyaha sa tathokta tadaka. So these two are qualifying tadaka. He's telling us that. So who was of this kind, tathokta. So what is that? Chale kapale eva kundale. The chalati chalaha. Again pachadiyach, 31134. It's moving, shaking. Now the kapala kundala is a karmadharya compound to begin with, which is like you have the, because see, in Karmadharya compound, which come all in the end of 2.1, the main sutram is Visheshanam Visheshena Bahulam. And there is a Bahulam inside that. So even because, see, Kapala and Kundala are both nouns. So you don't have a very nice, adjective noun formation. You don't have that. But because of Bahulam is given here, that Kapala, this can qualify Kundalam in a certain way. So Kapal, so her earrings were skulls. The skulls itself were her earrings. So Kapale eva kundale yasyaha. So Kapal is a skull. So she was wearing earrings which were skulls. Kapale eva kundale, yes, and there were two of them she was wearing that. This is what's called the Pura Pada Avadharana. Like the compound is given as, Jnanamrutam. So Jnanam eva amrutam. Or you can say Ajnana Shrinkhala. Ajnanam eva Shrinkhala. So ignorance is the fetter which binds you. So Ajnana Shrinkhala, Jnana Amrutam. Similarly, the Kapala Kundala. So Kapale eva Kundale. But then we want to make a Bahuvri out of that now. Now the Chala is qualifying the Kundala. Her earrings were shaking. So she had two earrings which were in the form of skulls. And they were shaking, they were moving back and forth. So Chale, Kapale, Kundale is all neuter, nominative, dual. Like Vanam, Vane, Vanani, Vane, Vane. So Chale, Kapale, Eva Kundale. And finally Bahuvrihi Yasyaha Satatokta. So she was one who had these 2 earrings, kundala, and they were in the form of skulls, and these earrings were shaking. Chala. So chala kapala kundala. So you get the Vigraha Vakyam for that. Now Nibida is Sandra. There is a this is the Kalidasa trademark. You see the word Iva. The Upama Kalidasa here. I think we already got used to this one now. So Kalika Iva. So Kalika Iva Nibida Balakini. So again the word Iva comes one word later than in English, because the simile starts from Kalika, not from the word Iva. So you move the word Iva back one step, and then you can get the whole Upama which is coming there. So Kalika Iva Nibida Balakini. Now Nibida is Sandra. Nibida means dense or thick, very dense or thick, Sandra. And then Balakini. Now Balaka is a crane. So Balaka is a crane. So Balakini is Balakavati. So that this pratyaya in is in the Matupartya pratyaya. Matupartya pratyaya. In the sense of possession, one who has Balakas. This is all qualifying the Kalika. Okay. We are in the Upama right now. It's not qualifying Tadaka, right? It's qualifying Kalika. Because she was like a Kalika, which was dense and which had in it some cranes, the birds, cranes. So what he says is that he converts the Balakini to Balakavati. So he clearly tells you, the commentator is telling you that this is a Matupartya pratyaya. The moment you hear Matup, immediately go to section from 5-94 to end of 5-2. Nice compact section. Why do I say it's nice and compact? Because the Taditas are a huge jungle. There are more than 1,000 rules, very hard to master. There are more than 1,000 rules. So that is more than 25% of Ashtadhyayi tells of the Tadita Pratyayas. And after all of that, the Taditeshu Mudaha Paniniyaha. Taditeshu Mudaha Paniniyaha means that those who follow Panini don't know Taditas. This is after 1,000 rules. So after 1,000 rules, they tell you that you don't know Taditas. Anyway, so bottom line is it's a complex subject, because all these Taditas have been used in various meanings with various affixes in the old times, and it's very hard to grapple them that easily, But some of them are nice sections which we can identify with, and they are contained sections. And the one is this Matup section. And that starts from the Tadasyasti Asmin Niti Matup. I think it's 5-94. So that's easy, so at least we can go there and we can, figure out which one we need to use. So 5-94, we start with the, Tadasyasti Asmin Niti Matup. So one who possesses that thing, or in him that thing can be found. Then we can, the word Bhagavan, Shriman, Balavan, and all these things. Now what we have the pratyaya ini. Now what is the pratyaya ini can be used when? The sutram called Ata ini Thanao. That's 5-155, 115. 5-115. That can only come, the Pradipadikam ends in the short Ataha. And I always say in Taditas or also in Dhatus also, you have to answer 3 questions. Which Prakriti can take this pratyaya? What is the pratyaya? In what meaning is it coming? The meaning was already given in 5-94. Tad asya asti asmin iti. That's the meaning. From 5-94 to end of 5-2, that is the meaning. It's a possession, one who has that. And now its condition is given in the 5-115, ataha. So adanta pradipadikam you need. Now we don't have, do we have that? So let's see, what do we have? What we have right now is the Balaka. So we have the word Balaka. So Balaka is the word that we have. So Balakavati. Now, how can we then bring in the pratyaya ini? Is what Malinatha is asking, because he wants to use the word Balaka. Now, then what he says is that use the next sutram, which gives the there is a gana, Vriyadibhyascha. So Vriyadi gana, and all these ganas are kind of extendable, All these ganas are a little bit extendable. So we can put this word Balaka in the Vriyadi gana, and the Tikakara says that. So we should not be too afraid, because Interesting thing is that we had the word balaka and we had the word balaka also. So for some reason he wants to use the feminine word bala, because if you use balaka, we may be able to get the balakini directly from Attayini Thanau. But Malinatha wants to use the word balaka. I guess a female crane he wants to use. Okay. So anyways, if you want to use balaka, then you cannot use the 52115, because that requires a adantam pratipadikam. We don't have that. So then he says, don't worry, use 52116, which is vriyadibhyascha. So vriyadi gana. So vrihi is rice. So vrihin or vrihini will be the one who has rice. And again, rice means not one grain of rice, means you should have a lot of rice. This is used in special meanings, like one who has, like Hanuman I mentioned to you, one who has a special joy, like Goman, one who has a lot of cows. It has to be in some special meaning. If you have only one cow, you don't become Goman. The same thing, Balakini means there are a lot of cranes were running around in that. Now, so 52116 is already given that here, and we didn't, because we didn't have the shorter ending Pratipadikam, we have to stick it in this Vriyadi Gana and use that. So he's telling us that also, that you extend that one. Even if it's not there, you extend it. So you just add, now what sutram, anybody in the class, how do we found, because we have Balaka plus in. Balaka plus in. Now who can finish off this form for me? Balaka plus in. Now what sutram do I need to remove the a of Balaka?
Yes,
Balaka, anybody?
yes, teacher.
Anybody from the audience, before we give it to the staff, anybody from the audience? Balaka plus in. Okay, I'll give you a hint. We have the Bhasanya, sort of Yachibham. Oh, Hari is there. Hari should know this. Yeah, Hari knows this.
Yes, this is Atolopa teacher Satishji.
That's only for Dhatus. Ardha Dhatu. We are in Tatisa land right now.
Okay.
That is only when we have the Pratyuj Ardha Dhatukam. This is Tadita.
Yes, teacher.
But I gave you the hint that you have the
Bhasanya. Yeah.
Ushaji's hand is up. Let's see what it's
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher. Ushaji, you had that?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
6-4.
Ushaji had it. Hari also got it. Thank you. Yes, teacher. So then we have the Bhasanya. So because Yachibham, Swadishva Sarvanamasthane, Swadishva Sarvanamasthane. So because the Swadi include everything from 412 to end of the 5th chapter, everything is Swadi. Not only those first 21. So we are applying 51116. So this pratyaya in is a Swadi pratyaya. It's not Sarvanamasthana. Sarvanamasthana only are the first 4-5 pratyas over there. So in Tadita there is no Sarvanamasthana. So then, and because Yachibham, pratyaya with the Yakara or Akara, we get the Bhasanya for the Angam, Yachibham. So by the setting 1418, so 1418 gives the Bhasanya for the Balaka. Use Bhasanya for Balaka. And then after that, we can, for the Angam, which is Balaka. And then once we have that, we apply Yasya teacher. What does that say? Yasya means Ivarnantasya Varnantasya Angasya Lopasyat. So Bhasanyakasya Lopasyat. Ikare Taddite Chapare. So either you should have an Angam ending in the Avarna or Ivarna. We have one ending in Avarna, long A we have. And then we should have a Pratyaya, which is we should have a Bhasanya, which also we have. Then the Pratyaya should be either a long E, the feminine E, or Taddite. We are in Taddite because from 4176 starts Tadditaha. To the end of 5.4 is Tadditaha. So that will remove the 64148, will remove the yes, teacher, 641, very, very important sutram. Removes the, in the Angasya Adhikara, in the Bhasya Adhikara also it is, removes the ending A of Balaka. So this all Malinatha may not give us, because this we are supposed to know on our own. Balaka. Okay, we get Balakin, then Balakini. What sutram which we saw today? Anybody? To make Balakini. Long E coming, we already saw that. Same sutram. Anybody in the audience? don't want to add the long. You could Ushaji. Is anybody besides Ushaji? No. Okay. Yes. Ushaji. Yes, Ushaji. Runnebhyonip. Actually, you're right. Runnebhyonip. Interesting thing now. This is not the same thing we saw before. It's my mistake. Okay, my mistake. She's right. Runnebhyonip. 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 Okay. Now the reason I made the mistake was, see, this is why it's important to realize why. See, because when you have the form like Bhagavati, yes, Ushaji is correct. Runnebhyonip. I was about to make a mistake. My question was wrong. So this is a different sutra. Runnebhyonip. Let's go there for a second. Okay, let's go there for a second and tell you why I was about to make a mistake. Because in the 413, when you start the Sriyamadhikaraha, and Usha is correct, Runnebhyo Nip says that, I think it's 415, Runnebhyo Nip. And if you have a Prajaptikam ending in R, which we don't have, or the Nakara, which we do have, we have Balakin, then you have to use the long E, Nip, to make it feminine. Like when we have the yogini, a word like yogin becomes yogini. So balakin, balakini. Now, reason I was about to make a mistake was because the pratyaya matup, when you have like Srimati, Bhagavati, there we use ugitascha, the 416, because the matup and its adesha matup, they have the u as an it, so ugit is there. Now, did matup come here? Matup never came here. There is no sthanivat bhava because the in overruled the matup. So the in pratyaya was not an adesha for matup. It was an apavada for matup. Actually, apavada may be the wrong word, but because I think matup also can be used, but it can be, at least it can be vikalpena, it's apavada for matup. Important thing is that in pratyaya does not have u as an it because the matup pratyaya never came. There is no sthanivat bhava giving u as this because I was thinking ugitascha because of matup, but matup never came here. So Ushaji is right. The answer is runnebhyo nip. We do have nakaranta pradipadikam, so we have to use 415 to bring in the nip. So I'll just put here. So we have the ba la. I'm sorry. I'll improve my typing. Ba la. Balakin, and then you have the pratyaya nip, which is the long e, anubandalope, lashakwatadite and halantyam, and that's by 415, which is runnebhyo nip. Okay, so balakini. So what's the simile that's going on here now? The simile that's going on here is that what is kalika now? Now kalika comes also in Devi Mahatmyam. So kalika is a Kali Devi, kalika, one who's dark, probably kalika. He says Ghanavali iva, but he says Ghanavali. Ghanavali like a row of clouds. Avali is a row of something. So like Namavali, you have Deepavali, Ghanavali. So now Avali iva. So Avali, actually Avali also is there and Avali also is there. It can be like Mativat or Nadivat. So he says Ghanavali iva. So Kalika equals Ghanavali. Where did you get that from? Again he quotes from Vishwaha. What is Vishwa? The Shabda Kosha, what did it say? Kalika yogini bhede. The yoginis are all the associates of the Devi. Yogini bhede. Karshne, in the sense of darkness. Gauryam, it can also be a name for Parvati. Ghanavalau iti Vishwaha. So it comes, all these meanings is where Kalika comes. It means darkness, but it can mean that yogini bhede, special kind of yogini. It can be Karshne in the sense of, it's all saptamis, okay? In these meanings, in the sense of darkness, or Gauryam for Parvati, or Ghanavalau. That Ghanavalau is saptami of Ghanavali. So here he has used Ghanavali iva, and this saptami is for Ghanavali. So like Matau, Ghanavalau. So that's how he justifies that this Kalika here means Ghanavali. So this Tadaka was looking like the Ghanavali, which is like a string of clouds, which were very dense clouds, Nibida, very dense string of clouds, which were carrying with it the cranes. Now, of course, this is Kalidasa, so the similes are perfect as usual, because she was also Bahula Khapa Chavihi. So she was also in the Bahula itself is like the Nibida, because Bahula, because this dark half of the moon, this is, there is a lot of darkness, like dense darkness. And then she also has the Chala Kapala Kundala. So these Kundala, which are her skulls, are moving around, and they look like the cranes, you should use your imagination now. These cranes are like the, her kundalas. So, and then finally what does it say? Pradur asa equals pradur babhuva. Now pradus is an avyayaha. Pradur means to manifest, like, so or to become visible. So pradur. Pradur and avis. These two are the avyayas, which means to manifest. So she became manifest. So pradur babhuva. Interesting thing now is that this form asa. This asa, what lakara is that asa? Anybody in the class? Asa. What is that? Darshayamasa. Ashvasayamasa. Okay, Kartik has the. Give me 1 second. Okay, yes. So 3 hands are up. Okay, give Kartik a chance because he is new. Yes, Kartik.
Is it lit?
Yes, it's lit. Then what is it? Is it Prathama Purusha Ekavachanam, lit.
Ekavachanam.
So I think also the Usha and also Hari had that. Thank you. But now my question to you is that the Paniniya Sutram Aster Bhu. Aster Bhu. See, this as cannot have any forms which are Ardhadhatuke Pratyaya Pare. Because the moment you say Ardhadhatuke, as becomes Bhu. That's why Malinatha very tactfully he says Pradur Babhuva. Pradur Babhuva. Because of Aster Bhuho. This section called Ardhadhatuke comes in 2 sections Ashtadhyayi. One is in 2.435 where the entire dhatu changes its form, which what Apteji calls as the defective dhatu. Defective because they don't have all the tenses and moods. They do not have the non-conjugational tenses and moods, Ardhadhatuke, which is called non-conjugational. They don't have them, some of them. They don't have them. Or some of them don't have some lakaras. So now, and there should be a sutram called Aster Bhuho. So dhatu as immediately becomes Bhu when the pratyaya for instance Ardhadhatuke. So lit pratyaya is Ardhadhatuke. When lit sutram become Ardhadhatuke. So we should not have this form asa. Then how do I form darshayamasa, ashvasayamasa? There you have that. That's the only case where the dhatu as will have a form ardhadhatuke because vachana samarthyat. Because Panini says you can use the dhatu kru, bhu and as in the anuprayoga lit. So that's krincha anuprayate liti. Krincha anuprayate liti. And that kri is a pratyahara kri which includes the, here it is, 3140 says krincha anuprayate liti. So that vachana samarthyat, you can have the anuprayoga lit forms and then you can have form like darshayamasa, ashvasayamasa. We don't have anuprayoga lit right now. We only have pradurasa. So what do we do now? Because we should have had the aster bhuho. The Samulinatha, he without, he quietly he says pradur babhuva. So he knows the problem here. So this asa becomes babhuva. So what they have done is that they have made this asa into an avyayaha. This asa has been made into the, the tinganta pratirupaka avyayaha. It mimics the tinganta form asa. So babhuvarthe avyayaha. Because you cannot say no Kalidasa is wrong, and it's not only Kalidasa. You can even other places you have like Bhagavatam and all, you see the form asa. The Panini doesn't allow that because of aster bhuho. So now you have to have some way to, justify this. So because, prasiddhatvat, bhuvarthe avyayaha kalpitaha. So this is becoming avyayaha. So yes, this asa form, if you actually go to the prakriti of you will get the form asa. Because when you take us and duplicate that, if we can go through that quickly, you will get the form asa. But you don't want the form asa to come because of aster bhu, that whole derivation is actually not correct. But if it were allowed, that's what would have happened here. We will skip some steps now. Okay. So we'll do some duplication, us plus us, and then we bring in the null, atus, us, etc. Bring in the pratyaya null. Okay, so null comes in here. Now what happens is that the you do haladi sheshaha. So haladi sheshaha will get, I think I'll put some numbers here. All these rules come in the plus null. So we get the pratyaya null. So then we get the plus us plus null. Actually, what happened is that you get the form ata adehe. Ata adehe. Let's go to 7.4 for a second. Ata adehe. Because in ata adehe, what happens is that in the abhyasa, if you have the adi akaraha, then you can, it becomes a long ata adehe. Otherwise, what would have happened here? Anybody in the class can tell me. If we didn't have ata adehe, what would have happened? You have plus us. Because you could have brought in the akasam dirgha, but then ato gunaha would have stopped that. So plus will go back to and you have some problems. Right now you have the pratyaya null, so it's okay. You might still get the form asa, but then to get the form asatuhu and asuhu, which are not allowed anyway, I'm saying that you don't want that plus to become by ato gune, parupam ekadesha. You don't want that. So when you have this adi akaraha, and in the lit pratyaya following that, then you get ata adehe. So all these abhyasa rules come from 7.458 to end of 7.4. So ata adehe says that liti pare. So adi bhutasya akarasya dirgha syat. So you become a long a. So ata adehe will make, and then we can do akasam dirgha. So use 7.470. Of course, we use the haladi shesha for 7.460. So 7.460 was already used, and then we have to use the 7.470 now makes that into the plus us plus null, and then we get us plus null, and then by that time we are all done. We get the so 7.470 will be used to make it into. So the important sutra that I want to point out is ata adehe. Ata adehe will be used to make it into plus us. You do the akastamani dirgha, and then we're all set. And then the null actually nothing more to do, because the null is, is not required, because normally the null would have done the atopodhaya, could have made the dirgha, but already we have the form asa now, so we don't have to worry about it. So asa plus null. So that's we will get the form asa, but we could not have used this, so we use the avyaya asa. Now, the last thing is this word pradus. I think what the Panini defines in this section called the gati, the which come in the let's see, there are these gati sanya, the kamtebag that starts from the 1460. So what I'm saying is that this form pradus can really be used like in upasarga. It's not an upasarga. It has a gati sanya. It will come before a dhatu. It can be used before a dhatu. And I think pradus is listed in the Ganan 1474. It gets the gati sanya. The form pradus can be used before a dhatu, like an upasarga kind of. So upasarga also gets a gati sanya kriya yoge. So on this 1474, it is listed is, maybe let's go here. And that should finish the shloka for us. So 1474, we can use, we get the gati sanya. What is gati sanya? Te parag dhatoho. So these can be used before a dhatu to kind of qualify the dhatu, So 1470 is gati, see, because she says, pradeha upasargaha, then kriya yoge. Sometimes they make it 2 sutram, make it 1 sutram sometimes. So pradis are upasargas, and they're kriya yoge. So only when pradi, the para, etc., 22, para, upper, knee, and all that. So these are going to be 22 upasargas, but they have to be kriya yoga only, they get the term upasarga. Otherwise, pradeha only nipatas, and they're all avyayas. But then gatishcha. So the pradeha also we get a gati sanya. Now why I have 2 sanyas? Because the gati sanya is a much wider umbrella. It's a bigger sanya, which includes other things also. And they go all the way down from 1459 all the way to 79, the Gatishcha. It goes from they're up to the 14, I think around 14, in my book 1460 to 79. And there in 147, the number might be slightly off here. So the one that we want is the Sakshat Prabhuti Nicha, Sakshat Prabhuti Nicha. So this is 73. In my book it's 74 because here they have combined the Sutram, but we have 1474. And what does it say? It has the Gana, Sakshat Prabhuti Nicha, the word Sakshat, etc. Like Sakshat Karaha and all that we have. They also get the Gati Sanya. And I think here he says Pradus Namas Avis, like Avir Bhavati, Pradur Bhavati. So they can come before a dhatu because of te parag dhatu to qualify the dhatu. So Pradus is to become manifest, to be manifest is Pradus. So that's why he has given the formation Pradur Bhavuva. So Pradus, and of course Sasajusho Ruhu will make into the Pradur Bhavuva. So, and because of te parag dhatu, they have to be used before a dhatu. Okay, so 1480. I think that does it for us. Let us see what we have here. So Jnaninadam, so recognizing or accepting or taking in or listening to the twang of the bowstring of the two of them. Then, Atha means then. This Tadaka manifests herself, kind of popped up over there. And she was like, her complexion was like the complexion of a night of the dark half of the moon, and she had these earrings which were shaking back and forth, and the earrings were in the form of these skulls, and she looked like this dense string of clouds which had in them the cranes moving around. So who wants to do the English for me now? Let's see. All right, let me expand this, enlarge this one. See if I can. All right, let's see. Who wants to try? Anybody? Okay, Vasu wants to try. It's good. Let's take Vasu. Okay. So, at the sound of their bow strings, what would you like to say?
Ninadam.
Janinadam, I think Grinhati probably.
Granati.
So at means listening to the sound. So Janinadam is the sound of their, Ja is the bowstring, Ninadam is the sound. And Grinhati means at the sound, means hearing the sound, what he means. Okay, Tadaka is?
Tadaka.
Tadaka, appeared.
Pradurasa.
Pradurasa is Pradar Bhavuva, we saw that. Dark like the night of the dark fortnight.
Bahula Pakshapa
Bahula Kshapa Chavihi.
Chavi.
So dark fortnight is the Bahula. The night is the Kshapa. And dark like actually which had the complexion like. Chavi doesn't mean dark all the time. Chavi means only complexion, but here it means dark. Okay. With skulls dangling as eardrops.
Chala Kapala Kundala.
Tilakapala Kundala. I guess they call eardrops. Okay, eardrop. I don't know if they call earrings or eardrops. I guess they're dangling earrings, whatever they call them, eardrops. So Chala is the dangling. Kapala is the skull. And Kundala is the eardrops. As if.
Iva.
Iva. She word is understood. A dense cloud bank. So dense is what?
Nibida.
Nibida. Cloud bank is? Kalika.
Kalika.
Kalika was the Ghanavali, which is the cloud bank.
Cloud bank. Kalika.
With rows of cranes clinging about.
Balakini.
Balakini. We see supplied some things here. The Balakini, actually the Kalika is a row of clouds. Made road of cranes. Clinging about is from because you had Chala back there, so he supplied over here also, make it Balakini. But good, so that is translation of this. I think in this shloka, the important thing that we saw was the present partial form Grihnati. We saw the Samprasaranam there. That was one important thing. Then we saw some new vocabulary coming to us. The word Bahula, which normally means a lot or many, here or various. Here it meant the Krishna Paksha, which is a strange usage. The word Ja we already had before. Then the Kalika also was a strange usage, which means Ghanavali in this case. So those were, and then we saw that the Asa could not really be used because of Aster Bhuho, but make it into a Babhuvarthe Avyayam. Okay, let's into the next shloka. We don't have that much time, but let's see what the next one says. So, Tivra Vega Dhuta Marga Vrikshaya Preta Chivaravasa Swanograya Abhyabhavi Bharatagrajastaya Vatyayeva Pitrikananothaya. Okay. Tivra Vega Dhuta Marga Vrikshaya Preta Chivaravasa Swanograya Abhyabhavi Bharatagrajastaya Vatyayeva Pitrikananothaya. And he's already given you the Padanvaya Padacheda. Let's go through that. Tivra Vegena Dhutaha Marga Vrikshaha. So let's see again Vigraha Vakyam for the Tivra Vega Dhuta Marga Vrikshaya as a Bahuvrihi. And then Preta Chivaravasa, both qualifying Tadakaya. Swanena Ugraya, and it all is qualifying Tadakaya. So Tadaka, by Tadaka, who was all of this? Tivra Vegena Dhutaha equals Kampitaha Marga Vrikshaha. So by her intense speed, all the trees on the way were shaken up. Then Preta Chivara Vasa. This word Chivara actually means like Jina Tyakta Vastram. Means old or thrown away rag. It's like a rag. So Chi, Dhatu Chi is there. So Chivara, they collected together. So Chivara. So Preta is of course a dead body. So Preta Chivara Vasa. So she was wearing these clothes or these rags from the corpses. Preta Chivara Vasa. Swanena Ugraya Taya Tadakaya. So it's a passive usage. So by that Tadaka, what has happened? And then there is again a simile. Vatyaya iva pitrikananothaya. Again, move the iva one word back. So the simile is Vatyaya pitrikananothaya iva. So she is being compared to a storm or like a gust of wind. Vatyaya. So Vatya is a gust of wind. It is the Vata Samuha, Vatyaya. And Pitrakanana is again interesting word. Pitra means of course the ancestors, and the Kanana means like a grove or forest. So it means a Shmashanam. So Shmashanam is called Pitrakanana. Pitrakanana Othaya. She was compared like this gust of wind which came from the cremation ground. Okay, but then what is the main sentence? Is Bharatagrajaha, is the elder brother of Bharata, means Ramaha. Is Taya Abhyabhavi. Now, what kind of form is that? Abhyabhavi. This is not in the Bhagavad Gita. This kind of form is not in the Bhagavad Gita. So I cannot, but is Dhatu in Bhagavad Gita? Anybody want to tell me where this Dhatu comes in Gita? What's the Dhatu here? Abhyabhavi is Tinganta form. So attack the Tinganta form first. So what is the Dhatu here in Abhyabhavi? It is the very first Dhatu in the whole language. I think Kartik has, Vasu has it, Kartik has it. Kartik a chance. Yes, Kartik?
It's Bhu.
Dhatu, Bhu, yes, Dhatu. I think Vasu also had it, I think, yes. Vasu?
Yeah, I wanted to say the same thing.
Okay, now the question to both of you. Give me a shloka in the Gita which has the same Upasarga Dhatu combination. When you see a Dhatu Upasarga combination, Vyakaranam cannot help you much. You have to know it from usage, how the Dhatu's meaning is taken away or changed, sometimes even reversed, sometimes unchanged. So Balat Dhatoho Arthaha Anyatra Niyate. So it forcefully takes the meaning of the Dhatu somewhere else. So you have to, and then you can try the various forms. Means you can try the past participle form, you can try Lakara forms, you can try the noun forms, and you can see if you can, because that will not change the meaning. Okay, because the dhatu upasarga combination is there giving a certain meaning. And that will be used, of course, in all the various forms, which are the conjugated forms, in the participle forms, the noun forms. So let's say, you can try the word like abhibhuti, abhibhavaha, abhibhavati, abhibhutaha, abhibhutani, abhibhavanti, no, abhibhuyate. Okay, Hari has got it. I gave you the answer on the way. Okay, I was trying to give you the answer. Yes, Hari.
It's Adharma Bhibhavat Krishna
Yes.
Pradushyanti
Pradushyanti
Kulastriya.
Kulastriyaha. Adharma Bhibhavat Krishna Pradushyanti Kulastriyaha. Abhibhavaha. Abhibhavaha means that it's when it gets overpowered. Adharma Bhibhavat Krishna. So when dharma gets overpowered, Pradushyanti Kulastriyaha. Women from even good families, women get corrupted. I guess what you're seeing in today's day and world. But Adharma Bhibhavat Krishna Pradushyanti Kulastriyaha. When dharma gets crushed, then or attacked or overpowered, so then the women from kulastriyaha api padushyanti, they get corrupted. But anyway, so this word is in the Bhagavad Gita in the very first chapter, Adharma Bhibhavat Krishna. That's one of the reasons Arjuna gives to not fight the war, because then all this chaos will come to all that. So abhibhavaha. So now what form do we have here now? It's a difficult question. I know we have not done in this class. If anyone wants to guess, can you start making some guesses at this?
Are we getting a Bhuvo book?
No, that is what lung litoho. Right?
Yeah.
So we could be. So I think lung litoho possible, but anybody else? Okay. Hari has a suggestion. Yes, Hari.
Could it be causative?
Could be. Now you covered aya form for that. Right? Aya is a causative marker, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But there's one thing which is very obvious here, which is, what is that? Yes, Ushaji? Ushaji?
Yes, Satish, I was
I'm sorry?
also thinking.
Causative. No, it's not causative. It is, okay. Vasu? Any?
Yeah, it looks like a Visheshana Shabda. Abhyabhavi Varadat.
No, it is a Tinganta Pratipad. It's a Tinganta. Not Pratipad, it's Tingantam. This is a conjugated form. Karthik?
It has an adagama, so it's
Yeah, it has the adagama. Yes. So now we're getting somewhere. It has the adagama.
So it's
What
lung.
is that? Yeah, it should be either the lung, lung, rung, adudatta. So adudatta, I'm sorry. So lung, lung, rung, shu. So it will be lung, lung, or rung. The lung has to have the sya in it. Doesn't have the sya in it. This is clearly not lung. Because we're going abhavat. So this is not. This must be a lung lakara form. Good. So just look at the adagama only, we can tell this must be a lung lakara form. Must be, because there's some strange things going on. And because it becomes abhyabhavi. So this dhatu is bhu, then how it become abhyabhavi? So that is the adagama. So this is a very special form. First of all, let's look at the adagama rule, which I can never pronounce it correctly. Lung lang rung shvadadattaha. Lung lang rung shvadadattaha. So lung lang rung shvadadattaha. So these three lakaras. As I mentioned to you before, the lung has a sya form in it, extremely rare. So that means which you are left with two choices normally, lung or lung. And in the lung you get the same base as in the lat lakara, like bhavati. It becomes abhavat. Now you could have also maybe tried the passive form of lung. What will you get? What could be a third person singular? By the way, you can one more thing. By the way, you can look at. See, Ramaha was overpowered. He was kind of pressed down by her. The meaning of the sentence is that Taya Tadakaya Bhadagrajaha Ramaha Abhyabhavi. He was attacked by her. He was crushed by her. So now this has to be what is the person number? What is that? Because clearly it's a third person singular form, abhyabhavi. It's a passive form also. Because look at the karta has gone in tritiya. Taya tadakaya bharatagrajaha abhyabhavi. Means abhibhutaha asan. So asit, I should say, asit. So he was overpowered. So we know this is going to be a third person, singular, lung lakaraha, and a passive form. This is a very strange passive lung lakara form. Now, let me give you these two rules which we need here. This is a very special form, and this special form only is used in the, and this is actually not a very uncommon form. Okay, it's not, because very easy to use. Very easy to use. I'll tell you why it's easy to use. Because even though it sounds very complicated, because it's a passive lung form. But there are two sutras which, in fact, you know, the sutra which you always use, the sarva dhatu ke yak. Right before that, we have sutra is chin bhava karmanoho. Chin bhava karmano. Again, we'll do it next time in detail. But I just want to do this, if you want to do this for homework, is the chin bhava karmanoho. So chin bhava karmanoho. And anutti of te is coming down. Te shabde pare. So when you have this, the Atmanipadam, because remember in the passive you can only use Atmanipadam because of 1-3-13 Bhava Karmanoho. This Bhava Karmanoho comes in 2-3 places. 1-3-13 says Bhava Karmanoho. Pratyaya has to be Atmanipadam. So you use ta, atam, ja. We're talking about the third person singular ta. So the ta. So te when this ta follows, this te saptami of ta, when that ta follows, so then we get this pratyaya chin, apavada for the sich pratyaya. Because normally in lung we get chili lungi chile sich. So sich is the default pratyaya in the lung lakaraha. And this chile sich, this 3144, is the default pratyaya is coming in the when lung follows. But here what this is saying is that the chin bhava karmano is telling us that, and the te shabde pare. So ta shabde, I should say ta shabde pare, excuse me, ta shabde pare. So te saptami of ta. When this third person singular passive form is there, then use the pratyaya chin. Don't use the chile sich pratyaya. So actually once you know that, it's so this one is and so it's very easy to form because of C1, and not only that, so 3166 if you have to use, we're out of time, we just refer to, we'll continue next time. But what we have is that we have the abhis upasarga, and then we have the adagamaha, 6471 lung 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 shu adudattaha, and then we have the dhatu bhu, sure you know. Then we have the pratyaya chin. With the chin we can do the chutu halantyam. So anubandha lope e, and then we have this ta, because here we have ramaha, he is the karma, and this is the passive form. So now the chin has a n as an it. The achonyati can do the vriddhi of the u to become bhau, and the echoyava sandhi to make it into bhavi. So when then we apply. So here we use the 3-1. What is 66, 67, what is it? 66, 3166, chin bhava karmano, 3166 was used. And then we can then use the achoniti, which is 7-55, echoyava sandhi, to get the form. So we'll change the bhu to bhau and bhau to bhav. I mean the echoyava sandhi, I think we all know that. So these are easy steps, nothing special about it, because that nas and it can do the vriddhi. So that is why we got the bhav and make it like that. And now so I'll put the numbers here. So here we use the 72115 achonyati. We have the ajanta angam, it takes vriddhi. Pratyaya following is nit or nit. And then echoyavayavaha, we got that. So what do we have then? We have abhavita. The only thing required is to remove the ta now. Otherwise everything is we have done. We got the form. Chino look is sutra. So that's why it's so easy to form this. You take any dhatu, and when you want to form a third person singular, of course the passive, which has to be atmanipadam, the lung form, you just bring the pratyaya chin. Remove, everything else is gone. Only adagama, dhatu and chin. And that is the same meaning. So when it says Ramaha abhyabhavi, same as Ramaha abhibhutaha, similar meaning. So Rama was kind of overpowered, was overcome with her. So chino look, last step. So you can take any dhatu, akari, apuri. Akari means what? He, she, it was done. So bhashyam akari, bhashyam krutam, right? So you can use any dhatu like that, any dhatus to just make this form. But this is only for ta shabde pare. It's a special form only for the third person singular passive only, nothing else. Only that one single form. Everything else has to go the usual rules. That's why it's a reserved form. Very reserved. I think the chino look is 64104. In fact, that's anurvatti which comes from ato he which you use all the time. The chino look anurvatti comes from there. So chino look will remove that this entire thing, this ta shabda is gone by chino look. So let me just put this time. We'll stop the class for today. So abhavi. So what is the how do you recognize this fellow? And so chino look, okay, 64104. What you have is, first look at the adagamaha. That's number one. Now look at the adagamaha. And this is only for the third person singular passive. Nothing else. If we don't have third person singular, we don't have this chin bhava karmano. It's only ta shabde pare. So it should be a passive form. It should be third person singular. There should be an adagamaha. It should be ending in the e. So the chin has to end in the e. And then you may have any vriddhi or anything going on in there, like akari. When that could become akari. It was done. He, she, it was done. So this is the special form that we have. Okay, can I give you any homework now? So you can revise this. So important sutrams are this chin bhava karmanoho. Let me highlight that. Chin bhava karmanoho. Again, ta shabde pare. And then you have the chino look. These two. Chin bhava karmanoho, chino look. These two, okay? And again, this is not in the Gita, but this is used. This is used quite widely by people. So you have to be ready to recognize. And once you know it, it's not that hard, because as I said, it has to be third person singular, has to be passive, has to be ending in E, there has to be an adagama in there. Once all of these are there, you can pretty much say this is going to be this chin bhava karmanoho. Okay, let's finish the class. I'll give you some homework. What homework should I give you? Okay, practice this sutram, what he has said. This utthanam. Utthanam is udasthastamayoho. Please take it for homework. I think most of you know this sutram, where ut plus tha, that sakara becomes the purva savaranaha. That will come in 8.4, udasthastamayoho. So that one is, please practice that. We need to use that for next time. Should be the end of Ashtadhyaya. It comes at, what number is that? Here it is, 8461. Please take it for homework, 8461. We need that. And then what else do we need? This is a Pratyak quip is here. Okay, this one we'll do next time. Okay, just read this commentary next. And he gives us Karmani Lung, he has given us Karmani Lung. So he has told us that, okay. And look what he comments that. Abhyabhavi is Abhibhutaha. Is given there also, okay. So practice this one, 33106, Ataschopa Sarge, and practice this 8461 for next time, okay. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Paranam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhotame Bho Rama Mamuddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasanama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Sri Rama Nama Varanana Onnama Iti. It's a little bit difficult for some of you because we are taking different topics. So I know there are lesser people in this class. In Wednesday class, you normally have about 20 people. This class